Global Entertainment TV today is the lead singer of the Gap Band. Could you introduce yourself to our viewers?
What's going on, y'all? This is Gavyn Rhone.
Gavyn Rhone's with us today. How's the holiday season been treating you so far?
Man, it's been amazing, man. I'm from Kansas City. I just got back to Los Angeles from visiting family back in Kansas City and doing the family thing and eating all the barbecue and all the fried food I can so that I can
Yeah.
get to Los Angeles and eat right. But the holiday season's treating me right so far, man. I'm blessed. I have no complaints at all.
Okay, so it's the festive season and people are into their music for enjoyment. Could you tell us how you got started with the music?
What man, I mean, well, first I started off just recording demos in Kansas City. And before you knew it, every label was calling me. My music started to circulate outside the state of Kansas. And before you knew it, every label was calling my mom's house in Kansas City. I was only a teen. And eventually Babyface, Tracy Edmonds, and Jacqueline McQuarrie called and asked to move me from Kansas City to Los Angeles. They put me in a boy band. We signed our deal with Def Jam. We toured the world, did movies, cartoons, all of the above. And then we did that for about 5 or 6 years. We dropped the project. And then
Yeah.
Clive Davis bought us out of that deal and signed us to J Records. And we did the same thing all over again. And that's about a 10 to 12 year run. And that's how I got started in the music business.
Yeah. So tell us some of the artists you've worked with and producers.
Oh man, I've worked with Dr. Dre. I've worked with 50 Cent. I've worked with Neo. I've worked with Sean Garrett. I've worked with Diane Warren. I've worked with Babyface. I've worked with Paul Stanley from Kiss. The list goes on and on and on. Keyshia Cole. I've worked with Jordin
Yeah.
Sparks. I'm currently working with Moniece from Love and Hip Hop LA. Yeah, it's endless. You know, God has really blessed me to work with some really amazing artists.
Okay. So it's the holiday season and you've decided to create your version of Little Drummer Boy. Was that a favorite song of yours?
Man, you know what? I just felt like I hadn't heard a rendition of this song the way I had it in my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way I heard it in my mind, I just kind of searched the net to see if anybody had done it that way. And I couldn't hear, and I couldn't understand why nobody had done Drummer Boy with a trap beat. You know, I just couldn't understand. I was like, how you going to do Drummer Boy without a trap beat on it? The drums should be
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
So
true.
that just kind of, I was like, drum, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just went for it, man. And I'm just into creating music that I want to hear. You know, I feel like there is a void missing in music where there's a sound that's not being heard. You
Yeah.
know, the airways and you know, I understand there's a lot of artists that are touching certain sounds. You know what I mean? But I have been able to pick up on a sound that hasn't been heard yet, and that's what I'm leaning into.
Okay. So is there going to be any visuals for this single?
You know what? We were going to shoot a video to Drummer Boy, but it was
Yeah.
so last minute. It was so last minute, and we did a lyric video to it. But what we're going to do is, I think next year we're going to shoot a whole. It's going to be a whole video. We're going to shoot an actual music video. So
Oh,
anybody that can play Mary, pull up.
all right. So what other Christmas songs do you listen to around this time of year?
Oh man, you know what? I think my two favorite Christmas albums is Babyface's Christmas and Stevie Wonder's Christmas. Those two right there, amazing.
Yeah.
I even love Stevie Wonder's Drummer Boy. You know, but those two projects are my two favorite. Is Babyface and Stevie Wonder's Christmas.
Okay, so if you could collaborate with any artist, past or present.
If Oh wow, if there's anybody I could collaborate after Christmas, sheesh, the list goes on and on. Jasmine Sullivan, um,
Yeah,
Beyonce. Um, I'd
yeah,
love to collaborate with Usher. I'd love to collaborate with Brandy. Um, yeah, I mean the list goes on and on. I have a lot of uh, amazing artists in my head that I would love to. I'd love to work with. Uh, Man, the list goes on and on. You know, I had the pleasure of meeting Whitney Houston. I wanted to do a song with
yeah.
her, but I didn't
Oh,
get a chance. I got a chance to meet her in the studio, but I wanted to do a song with her. Uh, but yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
amazing. So when you're in the studio creating songs, what's your process behind it?
Well, well, you know what? I mean, first it comes to the music. I write. There's two different ways that I write.
Yeah,
One way that I write is sometimes, God will give me a full on song in my sleep. Like I'll just wake up with a song. That's it, and the song is done. I just go in and record what He gave me. Another way of recording is I'll go into the studio. Like recently, I'm working with Moniece from Love and Hip Hop, and I wrote a song for her. And basically, I went into the studio. They pressed play on an instrumental, and I went into the booth and I started to just come up with the words right there in the booth, and
yeah,
I started to just record. Because sometimes this is the thing about writing for me: the music is already telling you what the song is going to be about.
yeah,
It's no different from if you're watching a TV show and they have music for every scene. If there's a love scene, there's music that sounds like
yeah.
a
So the
love song.
emotion, the music's emotion too, right?
Yes, yes. If there's a horror movie, they play horror music. So whatever you want to sing about, the music is already telling you what it is.
Yeah.
If you listen to the chord progressions, if you listen to the drums, if you listen to the instrumentation, it's telling you what this song is about. And the music speaks for itself. And I just write what it's telling me.
Okay. So what was it like when you found out you were going to be a part of the Gap Band? Because it's a legendary group known for with Charlie Wilson as the lead singer.
Man, listen, I was ignited because, I've always admired Charlie, and I've always admired the Gap Band, and I've always admired, singers like him, like Stevie Wonder and John P. Key. And, these guys are the ones that taught me and made me feel comfortable singing in my higher range. I was
Yeah,
always, I was always used to women like Whitney Houston and my mom singing up high, but Charlie Wilson and Stevie Wonder, those guys made me feel like, Gab, it's okay to sing in your higher register. And so, yeah, when I got the call to do Gap Band, Uncle Charlie said, nephew, you the only one I would let do
yeah.
this in my shoes. But he said, man, you sing like I raised you, nephew. Go on and do what you got to do. And there it was history.
Yeah. You also do a little bit of acting. Could you tell us about some of the gigs that you've done?
Yeah, yeah, I did. I did a movie with some of y'all may remember Honey with Jessica Alba. We shot that out there where you are in Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah, man, we shot that up. We froze our everlasting limbs off uh, shooting it, but we did it. Uh,
Yeah,
but the check was great. but
for sure.
yeah, but we did. I did that. I did Proud Family on Disney. I did.
Yeah,
I'm singing on the movie Dirty Grandpa, starring Robert De Niro. I've had my share. I did another movie called Maniac McGee, starring Kyla Pratt on Disney.
yeah.
Yeah, and then of course I did the Disney cartoon The Proud Family. So I've had my share of TV action.
Okay. There's a Michael Jackson biopic coming out next year around this time. Who do you think in the music industry needs a biopic as well?
You know what? There's two people that I believe needs a biopic. Stevie Wonder.
Oh, yes.
Stevie Wonder 1000% needs a biopic,
Yeah.
and I'm down to play Stevie. I can play.
Yeah.
Also, second not only Charlie Wilson. I say Charlie Wilson in the Gap Band as well, but I'll say Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke needs a biopic. Um,
Yeah, I saw his documentary. It's
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sam Cooke, and I will play Sam. I will play Sam. I think I could pull it off. Me and Sam's personalities are relative, and
Yeah.
I've studied Sam, uh, yeah, I think those two, Sam Cooke and Stevie Wonder.
Okay. So, do you have any other words for people for the Christmas season and the New Year?
Hey, best thing I can tell you is go download that Drummer Boy, Lil Drummer Boy remix by Gavyn Rhone. Holla at your boy. That's what you got to do. Play that joint during. Hey, you know what? The DJs was telling me they might play that record all year long. That's how hard it's hitting.
Yeah.
They
With the
said, man,
trap beat.
they said, man, this record sound like a timeless record. This record sound like we could play this thing in March. I said,
Yeah.
hey, let's go.
Why not? You also have an artist development company. Could you tell us about that before you leave?
Yeah, man. So I get called to work with artists a lot. You know, people call me and people will hear my vocal ability or see shows that I do, and they'll
Yeah.
just say, Gav, show me how to do that. We have a budget. Well, can you work with us on whether it can be a group, a choir, a duo, or a solo? You know, and I'll get with them and just show them how I do what I do. You know, and a lot of people will hear me do acrobatical things with my voice, and they'll say, Gav, can you please coach me to know how to do that? You know, and the cool
Yeah.
thing about working, the cool thing about my process is a lot of vocal coaches will have you doing things that are just completely, irrelevant. You know, have you doing me, and Ray for 2 hours, and you come out sounding the same way you did when you went in. You know, but the reality is I'll listen to a person sing, and my objective is to find the sweet spot and maximize that, and not just waste people's time, doing frivolous things, just to kill time, so, but yeah, developing artists, that's one of my favorite things, is pouring back into artists and showing them things that I've
Yeah.
been, over time.
All right. So all the best. All the best with the new single and a happy new year.
Thank you, brother. Happy New Year to you too, man. And stay warm, man. It's getting ready to hit you out there.
Yeah. Been good so far.
Yeah, it's been good so far, but bundle up.
Yes.
Hey,